Welcome to PSi, the most explosive guide to PlayStation games ever. PSi2 lets you see the latest games moving, hear the people behind the games talking, and features the unique Action Replay CDX cheat engine that lets you blow the biggest PlayStation titles wide open every issue. To kick off this issue, we have Codemasters' top-selling TOKYO World Touring Cars fully exploded with our exclusive Action Replay CDX cheat code engine. We've got previews of the hottest PlayStation 2 titles, including Tekken Tag, FIFA 2001 and Unreal Tournament on your PS1. If that wasn't enough, we've got an interview with Lara Croft, plus 2 reports on this autumn's biggest game trade shows, ECTS London and the Tokyo Game Show. Add to that a look at what's new in the gadget world, and of course your chance to win a PlayStation 2 console and accessories in our oh-so-easy competition. What are you waiting for? Now here's a real winner for budding mech heads out there. Crave's PlayStation 2 sequel to Armored Core features everything a serious warmonger could ever wish for. There's a fully featured garage that allows you to tweak and upgrade every facet of your mech, from your cockpit configuration to the bodywork itself. If you're feeling artistic, you can spend hours designing your own decals using a simple paint package. Then it's off to battle. Your mech is fairly underpowered to begin with, but once you start plowing through your assignments, clearing out malfunctioning droids or attacking heavily armed squads, you can start to hoard the cash required to buy all manner of upgrades and adjustments. Add in some pounding techno tunes, dazzling graphics, complete with light sourcing effects and reflective surfaces all over the shop. Armored Core 2 is explosive stuff. If this wasn't enough, a split-screen 2-player mode is included, plus a 4-player mode that will use the new iLink Firewire cable, allowing you to hook up 2 PlayStation 2s for the ultimate head-to-head battle. The only fly in the ointment is the slightly fluffy controls, which totally ignore the analog sticks. To find out if this complaint is likely to nobble a really cool game, check out our extensive review in the magazine.
For years, Action Replay CDX has been securely stored away in an unknown secret location, feared by every evil character and creature ever seen on the PlayStation. They prayed it would never be unleashed. Unfortunately for them, their prayers weren't answered. CDX is out. Packed full with the greatest game codes for infinite health, lives and ammo, extra weapons, vehicles and characters, CDX delivers the power to blow your games wide open. CDX comes loaded with thousands of codes for hundreds of games and is easily updatable with new codes as they become available. You can even create your own codes with the powerful code generator function. Visit CODEJunkies.com, the only official CDX site, where you'll find all the latest CDX codes and underground news stories, the ultimate Code Junkies site for clued-up gamers. Or call the Code Junkies hotline, where you can get your hands on the latest codes, up-to-the-minute chart and new release information, and enter the Code Junkies weekly competition. CDX isn't just a cheat code cartridge, it's a way of life.
Ever wondered what it would be like to have the ability to play your favorite games without any boundaries? Ever wondered how your friend breaks through to the highest levels of every game or beats your scores with ease? He probably didn't want you to know about Action Replay. Within the millions of lines of code that make up your favorite video games, there exist variables and vulnerabilities. With the ability to manipulate the variables, you have ultimate power over anything and everything. Infinite health, infinite lives, all weapons, all items, all characters. You go anywhere, you do anything, and you kill everything. The Action Replay video game enhancer is available for PlayStation, N64, Game Boy, Dreamcast and PC platforms, and soon for PS2. Constant code updates at CodeJunkies.com ensure that you'll always have the power to beat the game. We wanted to give you a taste of the Action Replay's ultimate power. Once you see how Action Replay can change your gaming experience for these titles, just imagine what it can do for the rest of your games. In this issue, access the greatest codes for Codemasters' TOKYO World Touring Cars. Enjoy! PlayStation 2 releases here in the UK on the 24th of November. If you fancy being the lucky owner of one of these little beauties on day of release, plus £200 worth of games, accessories and DVD movies, you need to enter this issue's competition. We've got 3 prizes to give away, and one of them could be yours if you give the correct answer to the following question. PlayStation 2 has the inbuilt capability to play which movie format? Is it A, Betamax, B, VHS, or C, DVD? If you think you know the answer, call the competition line now on 09064 774478 and follow the online instructions. You'll be asked your answer and for your name and address. Lines will close at midnight on Tuesday the 7th of November. Winners will be picked at random by our computer and announced in PSi2's January issue, on sale the 6th of December. Winners' details will also be posted on the Code Junkies website, www.codejunkies.com. Prizes will be dispatched to winners on day one of the console's release. Calls cost 60p a minute at all times, so get permission from whoever pays the bills before you dial. If ever there was a fighting game to challenge Tekken's crown, then Tecmo's Dead or Alive 2 is the big-time contender. It may only have 12 characters to Tekken's 39, 4 game modes compared to 7, and a much smaller collection of moves, but just look at it! Let's face it, Tekken Tag Tournament may have all the bells and whistles in the punching and kicking department, but Dead or Alive 2 is a real feast for the eyes. What's more, those glorious backgrounds are fully interactive. You can kick and hurl your opponents through windows or chuck them over cliffs before dropping a couple of 100 feet to land next to them and do it all again. If the cutscenes didn't take your breath away, then these riotous moments certainly will. Then of course, there's the horde of buxom manga-style wenches to lust after. Hours can be spent drooling over Tina, Jun and the gorgeous Kasumi. And now they've been given the 128-bit makeover, they look better than ever. It's soccer, it's electronic arts, it has over 200 facial textures, and every single team known to the professional world. Need we say more? FIFA 2001 Major League Soccer storms onto the PlayStation 2 when Sony's Super Console hits the UK shores in November. The undisputed king of footy sims, the FIFA title has become synonymous with furious gameplay and incredible realism, and EA Sports is carrying on that tradition with this stunning addition to the series. As these shots demonstrate, easily the most impressive update is the dazzling player models, which sport the kind of rich detail and fluid animation usually found only in PC games. Play it for just a few short minutes and you quickly forget that these guys aren't real people. As you'd expect, the speed has been geared up too, adding to the tension of some serious soccer action. The Japanese have been playing FIFA 2001 since the spring, but EA Sports have promised to further tweak the game when they add the MLS players and teams before spinning off a PS1 version. Naturally, the usual lineup of club and national teams will also return to the fray to let you settle league rivalries once and for all as you pursue the World Cup. Ever wanted to produce your own #1 hit? Well, now's your chance. Yamaha again proved that when it comes to creating music simply and affordably, there's no one to touch them. The DJ-X2B will have you making dance tunes and rhythms in next to no time, with its onboard scratch pad, samples, filters and patterns. At a mere £199, you won't have to bust the bank to do it either. Wannabe DJs and more accomplished groove meisters will find everything they need to knock together their own Ibiza classic. Hooking up to the internet can be a troublesome old business, but now there's a much easier way to get connected thanks to the Compact iPack home internet appliance. This nifty little device is essentially the internet in a box. All you need to do is plug it into the mains, wire it up to your phone line, switch on and surf away. There's no need to worry about the complexities of a home PC. The iPack is the perfect internet solution for a console gamer who wants to join the communications revolution hassle-free. We just couldn't resist getting our hands on this wacky way to burn an afternoon in the park. TCL Marketing's Rocket Hawk is just the kind of daft gadget you'd expect to see in the hands of a Silicon Valley propeller head. Constructed from durable plastic, the Rocket Hawk soars to a whopping 15 meters into the air before its wings unfold. From here on in, it will perform cool barrel rolls, spirals, loops, swoops and long glides just like a real aircraft on the wind. Not bad for less than a tenner. Nike is taking athletes into the digital age with a new high-tech sports gear division, and their first product is the Personal Sport Audio Play 120. This solid-state digital device has no moving parts, so there's no chance of your favourite tape getting chewed whilst running round the racetrack. It's also the perfect companion to take to the nightclub. If you hate the DJ's tunes, you can wear this and dance along to your own music collection. And it's about time too. How far would you go to meet Lara Croft? Would you cycle all the way from Holland to Derby? Well, Niels Bernston, an audio-visual technician working in Amsterdam, did just that. His reward for the 500-mile round trip? A candlelit dinner with Lucy Clarkson, the latest model to fill Lara's boots. We went along for the ride.
Congratulations, Niels. Great to see you.
Thank you very much.
Great effort.
It's
375 kilometres or something. What we've done, we've got a small presentation for you. A sort of a world exclusive image done by the team, just to congratulate you on your mammoth journey. So that's for you. To keep you warm on the journey back, Niels, is a Tomb Raider Lara Croft only limited edition leather jacket. Second life. Perfect. There you go. Look.
Oh, wow, this is nice. Well, I've got something for you, Jeremy, and also for the entire crew. I couldn't have done this tour without the help of all the fans around the world.
Okay.
But most of them have replied,
Right.
and I would like to give you hereby the signature action of all the fans. Also, some papers with the signature action that I've done at the start and at several campsites.
Fantastic. Tremendous. Thank you.
Lara Croft is probably one of the most special people in the world. She's different from anybody else, doing extreme things. And I thought, wow, this is amazing. Finally a game that's got something very interesting inside it. Also the character, but also the surroundings are inside the game, and a bit in the style of Indiana Jones. I think Lara's better. She's way better. I was just curious what would happen if I would write a letter towards Lara Croft. So I started writing all the letters, writing in week after week, and suddenly I received a postal package back with a t-shirt inside. T-shirt with Lara Croft on it, on the back, and it was a letter from Susie Hamilton. She's the PR manager of COMPETIT.STR Limited. Well, it was actually my idea, because I heard about the ending of Lara Croft in Tomb Raider 4, that she would make it out of the temple. Bit upset, bit sad though. So I wrote a letter towards COMPETIT.STR Limited asking, can I do anything to get it back? I have this wild idea of doing a bicycle tour. And they said, okay, let's do it. But I didn't expect something to be like this. I mean, Lara Croft is for me the symbol of extreme sports also. First tour that was from Harwich towards Cambridge, I clearly underestimated the distance of a mile. So I thought that I was never going to make it. But today was a bit like in the Netherlands when I started. Lots of rain, harsh wind, so I had to be a bit careful.
I thought it was a very brave and challenging thing for him to do. I mean, it's such a long way, and people don't appreciate. You know, he's only actually made 2 stops since he set off in the cycles. You know, he's been an avid supporter of Tomb Raider, and for us, developing the game each year, that's fantastic because we can actually listen to him and see why he'd like this game over the other game. I'm not going to give you too many secrets away, but we're about to release Tomb Raider Chronicles this November, which will be the 5th and the final in the chapter of the Tomb Raider series. Niels hasn't seen Tomb Raider Chronicles yet. I think he may have seen it in magazines, but he hasn't seen it in the flesh running. Certainly over the next day that he's here, we're going to show him Tomb Raider Chronicles that we're currently working on. I'm also going to give him a little sneak preview into the future. The next year, really, for the whole of games industry and for us in particular, is really exciting. You know, obviously PlayStation 2 is going to be, you know, something very, very new to the consumers, much more powerful than people are, you know, traditionally familiar with at the moment. And also we've got Microsoft releasing their Xbox. So us as developers, this is, you know, the best time we could have, because finally we can bring a whole new experience and push the video games just that little bit further. The movie's going to be out sometime in summer. I can't really give you any more details on that at the moment. They're actually filming down at Pinewood. It's absolutely fantastic. I've been down. It's so strange to see a character that, you know, we sort of breathe life into there on the big screen, and see Angelina Jolie hopping and jumping and shooting. It's unbelievable.
Whilst exploring the myriad of booths at ECTS, we had the good fortune to bump into those nice chaps at Codemasters. They had some serious looking games on show, including the long-awaited Prince Naseem Boxing. We couldn't help ourselves, we just had to know more.
The way that the company's run by the guys at the top, they're not happy with the game, it doesn't come out. They're across the board, all the games. The philosophy of that is what's happened, just get it right. Boxing, I think 3.5 years is a long time. 6 months to me, so to me it's fresh. Yeah. Naseem's been quite involved in the game, you know, stages that it's not through saying he's happy with it, making sure that it's presented in the right way. I think Tyson to an extent has, but to a lesser extent. We've got a number of boxes in the game anyway. There's about 16 main boxes, about 90 more boxes, so it's quite a lot there. And then you unlock them, they're going to all immediately available. Gameplay-wise, what I've mainly focused on is two aspects. One, which is dodging. The camera's much sharper and showing the graphics off. It looks more like a telly, which is nice. Try to get the balance between defense and attack right. There's a bit too much. We felt butt bashing like you would on, say, a traditional fight game. Whereas this is like a possible fight game, it's sports.
Capcom pretty much invented the beat-em-up craze with their highly successful Street Fighter series. Now Sony have dreamed up a new console, there's yet another update of the game. We're not entirely certain what happened to the streets, but the fighting action is still there, and now it's faster than ever. Street Fighter EX3 comes with a few neat surprises too, like Tekken Tag. If you get your hands on the new Multi-Tap 2, you can punch it out with up to 4 players. You can even have your revenge on that Street Fighter expert you know and hate with the 3 against 1 option. There are a couple of new characters too, including a chap called Ace, who you can use in the rather befuddling mission-based Create a Character mode. Another nice touch is the emotional flow feature, which allows you to take over a fallen ally's super gauge. You start off with 16 fighters, some new, some old, but there's a further 9 to unlock as you progress through the game. The big change though is the obligatory tag team mode, which allows you to pick 2 characters to go up against the computer or another human opponent. But the fly in the ointment has to be the inconsistent frame rate, which causes the game to slow down noticeably when things get busy on screen. Let's hope Capcom can fix this in time for the UK release in November. Fighting games don't come much bigger than the mighty Tekken, and this 4th incarnation of Namco's seminal beat-em-up has got to be the best yet. There are oodles of features in this massive title. To begin with, there are 7 game modes to wade through, including Arcade, Survival and Team Battle. You start off with a monstrous collection of 20 fighters, but battle your way through the game and you can unlock a further 19. There's even a secret bowling game for the serious champ to track down. Although Tekken Tag Tournament has essentially the same gameplay as Tekken 3, the new version has been given a major update in the graphics department. The game looks absolutely stunning, with richly lit locations full of moving grass, leaves blowing across the screen, snow, fire effects, you name it. The fighter models are now so highly detailed that it's almost like watching a manga movie as you punch and kick your way to glory. And yet, for all its graphical loveliness, look a little closer and you'll see that whilst it seems like you have true 3D movement, you're still stuck in a disc-shaped area, which noticeably stands apart from the background when the camera spins. But will you really care? With all those classic moves and killer combos still intact, Tekken Tag remains the best fighter on any console. As if you didn't know that already. ECTS may be big, but it's a tiny tot compared to the Tokyo Game Show. This year the theme was the entertainment of your life, and the show focused on games that the entire family could enjoy. A grand total of 63 exhibitors filled a vast collection of over 1,000 booths, and we were there too for this exclusive report. Visiting Japan's premier games industry event, the Tokyo Game Show, is a bit like peering into the crystal ball of video gaming. This is because video games are usually released in Japan first, followed by the United States, before grudgingly climbing their way onto shop shelves in Europe. Some of the games on show in Tokyo will not be released in the UK until well into 2001. So rather than asking Mystic Meg what the future holds in store for Britain's PlayStation gamers, PSi2 decided to visit the Tokyo Game Show to check out what's coming up from the land of the rising sun. Inside the Makuhari Messe Convention Center, just south of Tokyo, the Japanese video game industry demonstrates its latest wares. Video games, hardware, peripherals, and all from the largest and smallest companies in the industry. The show is comprised of 8 exhibition halls, covering an incredible 54,000 square meters. Add over 1,000 demonstration booths, and you've got the ultimate gamer's paradise. Top of every serious gamer's Christmas list this year will be a PlayStation 2 console. They might be in short supply when they're released in the UK in November, but in Tokyo at least, PS2 was everywhere. Konami's Metal Gear Solid 2, the star of London's ECTS trade show last month, was pulling in the crowds again in Tokyo. It's easy to see why. This game has incredibly realistic 3D graphics, movie-like animation, and gameplay that will keep you on the edge of your seat. This is the game that will have most PlayStation 1 owners selling their grandmothers to get hold of a PlayStation 2. Dancing games are extremely popular in Japan for some reason, but if like us you think dancing games are for your little sister and her mates, then you'll be glad to know that we weren't tempted to don our dancing shoes and practice our Britney Spears moves. Well, not in public anyway. It wasn't all PlayStation, of course. Not content with dominating the PC market, Microsoft was touting its forthcoming super console, the Xbox. With Bill Gates' cash behind it, Xbox is guaranteed to be a contender in the console wars. However, underneath the bonnet at least, the machine is basically a PC in disguise. Xbox is due for release next year. The Tokyo Game Show always throws up a wild mix of gizmos and gadgets, from the sublime to the ridiculous. The serious test for the PlayStation 2 will come when it takes on the PC at its own game, online multiplayer action. There hasn't been a console yet that's been able to topple the PC's mastery here, and Unreal Tournament is currently showing the mighty Quake 3 Arena a thing or two. But the game you're looking at here isn't running on a PC. This beast is the brand spanking new PS2 version, and it kicks butt like no shoot-'em-up on Earth. In deathmatch mode, it's you with an arsenal of guns running around like a maniac shooting anything still twitching. Then there's you racing to capture the flag, you taking on a fortress full of troops in assault, or in domination, it's you frantically racking up the points by locating special zones while under enemy fire. You can be Rambo and do this alone against the Unreal's ruthless bots, or best of all, you can team up with your pals and blow chunks out of them in a glorious 4-player split-screen mode. But the real deal here is Unreal's network play. Unreal Tournament aims to be the first to feature the PS2's online gaming capability to allow up to 16 players to shoot it out in the same arena. It may not happen on launch day, but when it does, and it will, this will be the game to watch out for.